Jessica Tarlov, the lone voice of sanity on The Five, a show on the Fox Propaganda Network, annihilated her right-wing co-host's bad faith talking points about Hunter Biden so utterly that she even got Jesse freaking Waters to make a shocking public concession. But before we unpack all that, if you haven't yet, please hit that like, subscribe, and the alert bell. All right, folks, I've got a single clip to play here. It's about 4 minutes long, and I think you'll love it. But before we jump into it, Jessica was on Twitter earlier today, and she warned her hate watchers that she would be on The Five for the rest of the week. And I got hyped because I love watching and reacting to her content. She has the unenviable position of trying to, in real time, react to 4 bad faith right-wing talking heads who constantly heckle and interrupt her to try to throw her off her game. And she still does exceptionally well. It'd be a challenging position for anybody. So with that in mind, in terms of this clip, they're reacting to something that happened earlier today, which was Hunter Biden was supposed to comply with a subpoena for Congress. He was supposed to testify behind closed doors. And instead, he said, listen, in the past, Republicans, you have repeatedly said that I could testify in public, and I'm taking you up on your offer. So if you want to talk to me, if you want to question me about me or my father or whatever, here I am. Let's do it in public. And of course, Republicans won't do it because they constantly move the goalposts and they have no faith in the claims that they've made about Hunter Biden or President Biden. But I digress. So after the other 4 of the 5 made their many dishonest points, it was Jessica's turn to speak. And she just shot all of the bad faith talking points down in real time and extracted fairly early on a major concession from Jesse Waters.
Crazy. We'll pick a couple. Okay. So I look forward to most likely be Jesse, who will next have Jim Jordan on your show. And you can ask him about the subpoena from the January 6th committee that he's flouted for years now, hasn't turned up, no respect for the rule of the law, as Judge Pirro would say. So you can list all these other people, but I want to see Jim Jordan being pushed on that, and I think you're the man to do it. Hunter
was subpoenaed by Jan 6?
Yeah.
And he skipped it?
Yeah.
So he can get arrested.
Great. So
that's a major concession. So what they're talking about, just to remind you, is the House January 6th Select Committee a couple of years ago investigating January 6th. It was led by Democrats, but it was also bipartisan. There were 2 Republicans on it. They subpoenaed Jim Jordan, a Republican congressman, because they had credible evidence that he was involved in the events surrounding January 6th. And even though he was subpoenaed, he refused to comply. And they deferred him to the ethics committee or referred him to the ethics committee. Okay, so it was kind of like hung out there in limbo. So what Jessica Tarlov is saying, listen, if a private citizen, Hunter Biden, is obligated to comply with a congressional subpoena and you and everyone else want to arrest him if he doesn't comply, then Jim Jordan should too. And Jesse Waters has nowhere to go. So he's like, well, yeah, I guess if Jim Jordan, refused to comply with the subpoena, he should be arrested too. A major concession that she extracted from him relatively effortlessly because, of course, he had no way to refute it. But we'll continue.
So we're arresting Jim Jordan.
You're in charge of the arresting people.
Okay. Oh, right, because we control all of law enforcement.
Control DOJ.
Oh, okay. Hunter made a lengthy statement about why he wanted to testify in public. And there's some important details in it. And I understand that he got subpoenaed a certain way for a closed-door testimony. But it matters when he gives clear examples of the fact that Republicans have completely distorted his record, his bank records, his emails. And we saw what they did with the Devon Archer testimony, right? They emerged from that saying Devon Archer said that Joe Biden was behind this, et cetera. And then you listen to the other people who are in the room. You listen to like Dan Goldman, for instance, and then eventually the transcript was produced where Devon Archer said the complete opposite, that Joe Biden wasn't personally profiting from this. There was no evidence of it. Victor Shokin was not fired by Joe.
Victor Shokin, as a reminder, was the corrupt former Ukrainian prosecutor who is basically at the center of multiple anti-Hunter, anti-Joe Biden conspiracy theories. Okay, just for context.
Joe Biden to protect his son. First of all, Joe Biden could not have gotten the entire international community to do it. It's just a load of hooey.
That's hooey.
No, it's not.
There was no large international community.
Of course there was.
One person.
Even down Christine Lagarde.
It was after the fact.
Entire international community.
No, yes, it is. It's the heads of. It's not one person, and it's Senate Republicans, a whole bunch of them.
Including, of all people, Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, a Republican senator who's gone full MAGA. Okay, multiple Republican congresspeople and Republican senators were calling for the firing of Shokin because he was widely perceived to be corrupt.
Republicans are freaking out because the beginnings of this impeachment inquiry, which has been going on, or fact-finding has been going on since they took the majority about a year ago, has turned up absolutely nothing.
Really?
Yeah, really. And again, I say you should be leading, Judge, because Jim Comer is not up to this. Jim Jordan, cite him again, on with Varney, talking about what the impact is going to be. Driving down Biden's poll numbers. Troy Nehls, or Niels, I don't know how to pronounce his name, said the same thing. What's going to be the outcome of the impeachment inquiry? Trump 2024, baby.
Troy Nehls also said a couple of days ago a different statement, but he said that the purpose of the impeachment inquiry into the President Biden, was to give Donald Trump more ammunition ahead of the 2024 election. So this is a naked, transparent, openly political effort. There's no substance to this whatsoever.
This morning, Maria Bartiromo has Nancy Mace on. She says, hey, Nancy, nice to see you this morning. Thanks for getting up early with us. What you got, right? Where are the policy changes that came as a result of being paid off? Nancy Mace,
I'll tell you what.
I don't have anything. I said, go get another. I love being with you, but you had the committee if you have all the answers. Congressman Don Bacon, probably not about Biden committing high crimes and misdemeanors. Chuck Grassley, I have no evidence where I can say the president is guilty. GOP aides, obviously, they don't want to lose their jobs. An unmitigated disaster. Comer has lost control, and he has botched this bad.
That's the whole
Catch your breath.
point.
I could just name one right there. So the Russian billionaire gave him $3.5 million and a Porsche Panorama, and then he left the lady off the sanctions list. Right there.
So we'll have more to come on
And
this.
within a month,
That's a
So then they changed the subject, but I will say this last part at the end, because you hear this quite a bit, about the $3.5 million. So the oversight Democrats, or the Democrats on the Oversight Committee, released a fact statement about this, correcting the record. So the billionaire in question transferred $3.5 million to Devon Archer, Hunter Biden's former business partner, as part of a real estate venture that Hunter Biden had no involvement in. The claim that Hunter Biden received these funds has been squarely debunked by Mr. Archer himself, as well as several independent fact checkers. Okay, Hunter Biden was not involved with the transaction. The funds were for Devon Archer's real estate work with Miss Baturina, the billionaire in question. The allegation has been completely debunked by independent fact checkers. Okay, so there's no basis to this whatsoever. But what a show of force by Jessica Tarlov, predictably brilliant as ever. And again, extracting such an important concession. There you have it. Jesse freaking Waters, the heir apparent to Tucker Carlson, is saying Jim Jordan, a Donald Trump MAGA-loving ally, should be arrested. Jesse Waters said that. He should be arrested for defying a congressional subpoena. And if that's not a win for Jessica Tarlov, I don't know what is. Let me know what you think in the comments.